Now, we're going to talk a little bit about the Emmys a little bit later, but one of the shows that had at least won one big award, and I believe won 9 Emmys altogether, was The Penguin. And Matt Reeves is now saying that they're already talking about doing more the Batman spin-off shows after the great success of The Penguin. This is what he said. I totally do. We've talked about it, Reeves told IndieWire on the Emmy red carpet when asked if he has plans for other television spinoffs. So again, he was asked, do you have plans for more spinoffs for the Batman? And he says, I totally do. While the director confirmed that creative conversations about expanding his corner of the DC universe have taken, he was quick to underline that his primary focus remains on the big screen. That's where my priorities have been, the Batman Part 2. These conversations may or may not. Look, I'm not in control of DC, and I can only tell you what I'd love to do, and that there are things that they know we would love to do, and those conversations may begin again when it's appropriate. Okay. So, look, the Penguin, you guys know how we feel about the Penguin. We talked about it while the whole show was running. I do believe firmly it's the best thing DC has ever put on television. Yes, I think it's even better than Peacemaker, although it's very, very different. You know, it's a totally different show from Peacemaker, but still, I just thought it was incredible. And again, 9 Emmys, including Milioti winning Best Actress, which is great. But we'll talk more about that a little bit later. So, Rob, this gets us, you know, the imagination spinning about what could these spinoffs be? What could he be talking about? So, first of all, Rob, do you think that's a good idea to do more of these spinoffs, Matt Reeves's Batman universe? And secondly, if he does, what would be some characters you think would fit well in this HBO Max universe?
Well, I think what they did with Penguin, which was great, was they sort of pioneered the Batman limited series idea, meaning you can tell a great story. It was 8 episodes, right? So you
right
have,
around there, yeah.
Yeah, you have 8 episodes where they've spent a long time developing the show, and those scripts, man, that they crafted were terrific. And you know, obviously the obvious thing would be to look at, I'd love to see a Zoe Kravitz Catwoman show. I loved her in that. You know, I mean, I think Zoe Kravitz, you see her in Caught Stealing. There's something otherworldly, incredibly sexy. She's got like a smoldering screen presence. And I think doing a Catwoman show would be a natural thing. Also, I mean, obviously Gotham series leaned into the Commissioner Gordon show, but they could do that. I mean, they've kind of already done that, but they could focus on, you know, like maybe there's in a way some organized crime bureau, like The Wire, where you're concentrating on law enforcement in Gotham, but do it like The Wire, you know, really get into the nitty gritty. And it doesn't even necessarily have to be Commissioner Gordon, although you got to kind of, I mean, that's sort of an obvious way to go. And then there's of course, the entire villains pantheon of you. And if you wanted to go a little further out, you know, you could do a Ra's al Ghul storyline if you wanted to. And you could say, okay, he's kind of an immortal, or maybe he's not, a League of Shadows thing. But again, do it as like a crime boss. He could be the Vito Corleone of international crime or something.
All right, let me throw this at you. Piggyback on your idea. At the Las Vegas meetup last night, one of our fans who was there came up and we were talking, and they kind of dropped this. What about, like, because you mentioned maybe a Ra's al Ghul series. What about a Ra's al Ghul series starring Hiroyuki Sanada?
Oh, dude, come on, that'd be dope. I'd totally watch that. You know, and then you could make it international. Mm-hmm. You know, it could be an international crime organization that comes to Gotham, not necessarily to destroy it, like in Batman Begins, but to do something. Like there's an international conclave of, kind of like in Quantum of Solace when they go to the opera, and you've got the quantum group meeting in that James Bond movie, something like that. That would be, what great casting, you know. And John, ninjas.
And of course, ninjas. By the way, you mentioned Zoe Kravitz. She's pretty hot right now. Now, do you have her in that as Catwoman, or do you have her as the vampire queen of the night? Whatever was she played in the studio, which did really well last night. Well, again, we'll talk about the Emmys a little bit more later. I mean, I see some people in the live chat mentioning maybe a Robin story. I'm not interested in a Robin story not that I'm against the idea of bringing Robin into the cinematic universes if they do them well. I don't think the general audience who really got into the Penguin as not just a great comic book property, but a great series.
Yeah.
I don't know if those same people would be down for a Robin series, to be honest with you.
Plus the timeline really doesn't work. I mean, Batman has to be Batman for like another 10 years before there's a Robin. I mean,
that's the thing, because Matt Reeves's Batman is a younger Batman. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't think he's got a 13, 14, 15, 16, 17-year-old kid running around out there.
No. I mean, get the kid killed. But I mean,
some other people have mentioned Court of Owls. Some other people in the live chat mentioned Court of Owls. Here's an HBO. That could work. Yeah,
I mean, that goes into the whole criminal underworld storyline. It'd be great to do something like that. And who wouldn't want? Court of Owls would be a great title for a show anyway, or Batman Court of Owls, or whatever you want to call it. But I think that there's so many great possibilities, because look, what was so great about Penguin to me is that it didn't just subvert expectations. It really, if you didn't know Penguin was in the Batman universe, that story existed on its own, and it was just a great crime thriller. And I think that that's something that is always appealing.
I still like a little deeper look at Arkham.
There's that too.
Well, remember they planned that. Remember they did have, like, in the Matt Reeves Batverse, they had an Arkham series lined up. They were talking about a Gotham PD, kind of like what you were describing, Rob. Yeah. They had that lined up, but those both eventually kind of got shelved and fallen by the wayside. I see some people saying, who would want to see a Catwoman series and not a Robin series? 99% of the public. Probably. Like, I'm not talking about the hardcore comic book fans, which you would have a different ratio there. But I think with the average show watching public, especially ones who really liked Penguin and the types of themes you could do there.
And she's established
a sultry adult kind of heavy drama series like the Penguin, but done with Zoe Kravitz's Catwoman.
Hell yeah.
Listen, that would get 5 times the viewers of a Robin series. Yeah. It just would. I'm not saying that means it would be better than Robin. I'm just saying it would get like 5 times the viewership of a Robin series, I think.
Although none of this really matters, because anything that comes out is going to be 2032. So
yeah,
at this rate.
Yeah. Matt Reeves likes to work at a very slow pace. He's like an ent. I just rewatched The Two Towers. He's like an ent. He's like, any story worth telling is worth taking a long time to tell. That seems to be Matt Reeves' philosophy. And hey, who am I to argue with him?
Guys, we want to thank the sponsor of today's episode, PrizePicks. Look, you and I make decisions every day, but on PrizePicks, being right actually means you win. And with football back, there is no better time to get in on the action. You guys know I've been using PrizePicks for a while now, and it's honestly the most fun I've had engaging with the new football season already. For example, this weekend, I had Josh Allen throwing for more than 270 passing yards, and Baker Mayfield having more than 2.5 passing touchdowns, and boom, I won on both. Building your lineups on PrizePicks is fast, simple, and honestly extremely fun. All you have to do is pick more or less on 2 to 6 player projections, and if you're right, you win. What's even better is that PrizePicks invented the flex play, which means you can still win even if one of your picks doesn't hit. Plus, they've even got this thing called injury reboots, so if a player goes down in the first half, it won't count against you. And PrizePicks operates in more than 40 states, including California, Texas, and Georgia. So download the app today and use code CAMPEA to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CAMPEA to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks. It's good to be right.
Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? Matt Reeves is confirming they are looking at doing more and other spin-off series from the Batman universe. Would you like that? Maybe yes, maybe no. If you do, which characters in the Batman world do you think would be prime candidates for doing it? Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts.
Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.